Hello. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday, everyone. Coach Vuyanzi here, Vuyanzi Rodman here, and coming to you for Thursday Night Live. You have been privy to these over the past, this will be the second week. This is a live that I did in my group for 27 weeks, I believe about half of the year. And these last couple of weeks, we're going to do them here, and then we're ending it. So I won't even bother to tell you the name of my Facebook group, because I'll announce tonight that I'm closing that Facebook group. But okay, so but anyway, tonight our live is called The Art of Letting Go, clearing space for abundance, really in 2024. And these are the last weeks of the month. And I want to start off with this. Philippians 3:13 says, a part of it says, forgetting what is behind and stretching or straining towards what is ahead, forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead. And let's be clear, what has or has not happened in 2023 is behind you. You got that? What has or has not happened. And so when we're saying forgetting what is behind you, yes, you can't literally forget. But what do we mean in terms of forget? It is take the lessons and leave the rest. Take the lessons and leave the rest. And what does this look like? Because some of us, we've had triumphs, right? We have had triumphs in 2023, but when we're looking at taking the lessons and forgetting the rest, basically what we're doing is we are making room for abundance in our lives. So let's look at what forgetting means as it pertains to your triumphs, the things that you were successful at in 2023. Well, it means to hold on to the gratitude. Hold on to that gratitude that you feel for having that success, that those achievements that were reached in 2023. Taking the lessons for victories in 2023 means remembering the feelings, remembering the emotion that you had behind it. What were those good emotions when you reached what you were supposed to reach at that time? And then this part is important, because what we don't want to do with those triumphs in 2023 is we don't want to make a crutch out of them. We don't want it to create blind spots. And finally, what we don't want to do is we don't want our successes in 2023 to keep us from our next level in 2024. What do I mean by that? In the past, I will say 6 or 7 months, I have had acceleration, amazing acceleration in my own life. Now, what I could do is I could say, hey, I had success in that. Let me just keep with what I'm doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's keep right there. Skirt. What you can do what I need to do is think about all the successes in this acceleration period that I've had in this year. And I can say, I'm so thankful. I have gratitude for all those things that I received. And I can remember what it was like to get those clients that I really wasn't looking for, so to speak, to get the call for the speaking gigs that really came out of the blue. I can hold on to those feelings. What did I feel during those times? Woo! It's amazing what I can feel during those times. And then I can take the lessons from that, anything, but look at how can I use what I did to even get better, to move to my next level. And let me be clear, that has to be a desire of yours, right? If you're like, nah, what I did was good and I'm not looking to go to the next level, this live is for not for you, queen. But it's for those queens who are saying, that was great. Now I want to move to the next level. So hello to everyone. In case you're just tuning in again, I am Vuyanzi Rodman, or Coach Vuyanzi, and I help women leaders to make career transitions with ease. And I do have a specific focus on Black women leaders. Now, what do we do with those failures? How do we take those lessons and leave everything else? So let me be clear. When I say failures, some people don't like using that word, but let's be honest. If you didn't achieve something you set out to achieve, I wholeheartedly believe it's okay to say failure, because it's not denying the fact of what happened. I've had so many failures in my life. I've probably had more failures than successes in my life. But when the success came, it came like kaboom, guess who stepped in the room, like that. So nevertheless, what do you take from that? Okay, you can wallow in the focus or in the failure, or you can shift your focus and ask yourself a couple of questions. This is what I mean by taking the lessons. What lesson did you learn? What did you learn about yourself in that experience? You should write that down. What lesson did you learn about yourself? So many people, like, I have clients over the years, and they can talk about what they learned, but I'm going to actually push you here to write down what you've learned about yourself in those experiences. And also, what did you learn about it? I remember one time I did have a session with a person, and he was talking about how, sometimes every once in a blue moon, I work with a man too. And he was talking about a business that had failed. And he was just so caught up in the failure. I said, well, what lessons did you learn about the business that you could take on for the next thing? And I've had that kind of conversation with a couple of clients. So my question to you is, what did you learn about that thing? What did you learn about it that now you're like, okay, yeah, I didn't succeed at what I wanted to do, but what have I learned that I can take with me? So there's a difference there, and write down the lessons. Now, here's something, when we're talking about leaving it behind and forgetting, if you will, that which is behind you. Here's kind of a mind hack. It's a mind hack. So when you keep talking about a thing, do you ever notice, especially when it's negative? So let's say you're talking about this thing that you failed at, and make sure you say hello, by the way, if you stop by. When you failed at something, do you ever talk about it and then you start to feel the same thing, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, whether it's fear, whatever those feelings were, whether it was confusion, whatever those feelings were at that time, because your body doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. That's why you feel like when you talk about it, you experience it all over again. So this is why I'm talking about forgetting about the things which are behind you. So what do? How do you switch that? How do you reframe that and use that body experience for the good? Well, when we're talking about forgetting the things which are behind, but straining towards the things which are ahead, start thinking about your future self. When you think about your future self, I'm going to encourage you to like lean all the way into it. When I say lean into it, I want you to think about, what does it feel? What would it feel like? Not what does it feel? What would it feel like to achieve that thing that you're working towards achieving? I'm thinking about my own future self. So what is it that you feel? Because now what starts to happen? You feel it in your body, right? And it is the emotions that drive you into that action. And it is those things that help you to become that thing that you're aiming towards to becoming in your future self. Therefore, what are you starting to do? You're making or opening up space for the abundance. You're not going in the past and like, oh God, I failed at that and this and that. So that's a mind hack. Imagine yourself, your future self, in that state of being that you want to be in, and feel it. Don't just see it, but feel it. Now, 3 tips I want to leave you with in this as we talk today about the art of letting go. So you can clear space for abundance in this coming year, 2024. Number 1 is to be clear. Be clear about the abundance that you want in terms of 2024. Is it in love? Is abundance in your career? Is it abundance in your business? Is it abundance in money? Is it abundance in relationships? Is it abundance? What is it? What is that abundance that you want to make room for? Be clear about what it is. So if you're listening right now, this first tip is to be clear about what you want. Feel free to jot that down and to put it in the chat as you see it. Now, I actually want to talk just quickly about something for me. I have a whole thing that I do where I'm declaring some of my goals for over the next coming year. And there was this one area that I kept flip-flopping. I wasn't clear. Like I'd say one thing and I'm like, oh, well, maybe it was, and then I'm like, maybe, I wasn't clear about it. And so I made a decision. Let me just take this off my goal list because I don't even know what it is that I want. So I removed it. I just removed it. And James 1:8 says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So therefore, if you're not clear, don't even make the goal until you're clear on it. The second tip I'm giving you for clearing to make room for that abundance is to write it down. I'm going to give you a simple statistic here that 42%, you're 42% more likely to achieve the goals that you write down. Habakkuk, what is it, 1 or 2 and 1 something says, write the vision, make it plain, so those who read it can run with it. So write down the vision. Just statistically speaking, it makes you that much more likely to achieve it. And the third tip I'm going to tell you today is practice gratitude in the present. I'm a coach, so what I do is I talk about the future. Absolutely. I help people move the needle towards the woman who they want to become. However, it doesn't negate having gratitude or focusing on gratitude in the present state of one's condition, in the present state. And I think there's some gratitude tips in Philippians 4:8, where the Apostle Paul makes a list of things that we should focus on. I mean, he says, focus on what's true, what's noble, what's just, what's pure, what's lovely, what's of good report and praiseworthy, what's virtuous. So he makes a list. So if in case you're like, well, how do I cultivate a state of gratitude in the space that I'm in now while pursuing that? Well, meditate on those things. So today, as I begin to wrap up, I'm going to ask you, Queen, are you ready to let go of those things that are behind you and reach for the things that are in front of you? Many people will say, oh, yes, yes, yes. But then when you get off this call or when you get off this video, you start rehashing the story of the past. You can't do both. You can, but I mean, it may start to make you stuck. Today, I'm encouraging you, I'm urging you to let go or forget those things which are behind you so that you can make room for abundance in 2024. If you're hearing this lesson today, please type in something that you heard that resonated with you. And don't forget to comment anything that you're thinking about. Make sure you like this. And most important, sharing is caring. Make sure you share this with someone else. And in the meantime, I will see you next week. Mwah, Queen. I'll talk to you soon. I love you so much. And I literally really love you. Talk to you later.